That's funny.
What's really good, my people? Welcome into No Catch Up Sports Talk via Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Little. Big Nick the Quick with me as always. It is a Victory Friday after 14 straight losses. The Chicago Bears go out on primetime national television, Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime. Go and get the guys a W, 40-20, up 27-3 at the half. Big Nick the Quick, what's good?
How we feeling?
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
it's a different feeling. I don't remember.
It's honestly wild how just a W just eases everything, man.
Changes a lot.
It just gives you a little peace of mind about a lot of different stuff.
Yep.
And it feels good. Now the loss last week is bad, but it's like, damn, we could have won 2 straight.
Yep.
So you start to get comments like that. Let's jump right into it because we got an easy 30 on this W. They hadn't won a game since last October. We were almost pulling up on a full 365 without a win.
That was like 337 or something like that, right? Or like 345 or something crazy.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was like 15 days short of a year, 20 days short of a year. They get it done 40-20. Absolutely come out and jump on the Commanders' ass from the start. First 20 plays of that game are all dominated by the Chicago Bears on offense, on defense as well, even though they started to let up a little bit towards the middle of the game, especially after half. But they came out and jumped on their ass early, and they never recovered. 27 points in the first half, and that would have been enough to win the game. Big Nick the Quick, talk to me about it. Let me tee you up a little bit. This guy, DJ Moore, is sensational. When I tweeted out during the game, he may not be a star wide receiver because, I mean, there's only a few of those, Justin Jefferson, Cheetah, those type of guys. But I truly believe this dude's top 3, top 4 at just flat out creating separation. This guy gets open. And he's open by a lot when he's open. Justin Fields got some time. That was apparent. And when he got time, the right play calls were made. You got to give Getsy his flowers as well in the first half. Right play calls were made. He was protected, and Justin Fields made the throws. He didn't make any mistakes early on in that game when it came to the passing game. He picked out the right spots. He got rid of the ball, even though that was clearly intentional grounding. When
100%. That's like textbook intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding is it clearly is a lot harder to pick up on the field because there's so much going on and you don't know. Like, I'm talking about for referee's sake, because when you're watching it on TV, it's obvious. Like,
that's
intentional grounding.
Yeah, it's a pretty clearly defined rule. You know what I mean? It's not like not like pass interference where there's a lot of gray area. Right. It's like you're inside.
It's intentional grounding. Yeah,
it's intentional grounding. Was anybody there?
Nobody over there.
Were you out of the pocket? That's intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah, you're right there. Yes.
So, talk to me about how you feel about the game. They came out, jumped on him. DJ Moore cashed all his props on the first drive.
Yeah,
as I mentioned, the double move. You see guys run double moves. For example, in week 1, we'll get to Chase Claypool because they moved off him, sent him to Miami. Claypool ran a double move early in the year where he got no separation. This guy, DJ Moore, ran a double move on like the second or third play, and he was 6 or 7 yards separated from the defender. St. Juste, I believe. So, talk to me about the game. 40-20, W, DJ Moore balls. We're now talking about Justin Fields in his last 8 quarters has been very solid.
Yeah, beyond
Thrown
solid.
tons of touchdowns.
Beyond solid.
I think we're at what, 7 touchdowns?
8 touchdowns. I think it's 8 touchdowns and 1 pick, or 7 touchdowns and 1 pick. That one pick being the one that he threw at the end of the game last week or on Sunday.
So talk to me about how you're feeling.
He's been sensational. I'm going to push back on one thing for you on your star receiver thing.
Yeah.
Oftentimes the difference between that really, 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 really good guy and that superstar is the quarterback that they play with. And if we want to talk about DJ Moore, look no further than the passers that he has had to catch balls from. We can go to Darnold. We can go to a washed-up Cam Newton. We can go to we can go to Baker Mayfield. We can go to PJ Walker. I don't know how long you got, but none of those guys are really lighting up the world. So, again, a lot of that, and you talk about Chase and Jefferson, and these guys all play with really good quarterbacks. So
I don't think you're not pushing back. That's even more love for DJ.
Oh, no, I'm pushing back on you saying he's not a star. Like he's not at that level. Again,
right.
A lot of times the separator isn't really him. It's the people that you play with, right?
Sure.
And those guys that we consider to be the absolute like top of the crop all play with elite quarterbacks. Say what you want to about Kirk. He gets Justin Jefferson the ball early and often. So with that being said, look, man, this is what we needed. I think when you talk about the noise, everything that was going on with this team, a quick turnaround from a truly embarrassing loss. Your head coach is about to get fired. Your quarterback is already getting, where can he get traded to? We're already talking about all the different players we're going to take with the first pick. Stephen A. is on TV yesterday saying that we are worse than the 0-16 Detroit Lions. All types of stuff, man. The noise was loud, not to mention a lot of the different internal things that are going out. You really want to see how a team comes out. And defensively, offensively, all across the board, they came out ready to go, man. Again, on the quick week, on the road, against a Washington team that you and I have both said we think is better or should be better than they are or can be kind of scrappy. Gave Philly everything they could handle last weekend. We dominated those boys, right? Simply put, right? Outside of a little stretch in the third quarter, we had this game completely under control. Fields responded when he needed to. DJ Moore absolutely took over the game, right? We talk about Justin Fields having 282 passing yards and 230 of them went to DJ Moore. That is absolutely taking over the game. I thought the game plan was solid. I thought Juice Herbert, before he got hurt, was awesome. I had some questions defensively about what we were doing. I did kind of have some issues with the soft coverage, especially when it seems like they came out in the second half and really wanted to exploit that. But true to the cover two, you kind of wait for the quarterback to get greedy and give you one, and they did, which was huge for us. Obviously, we got some luck with that missed field goal. Would have turned into a 7-point game, but we came right back out and scored. This is the response that I wanted for the Bears, right? Obviously, if you look at it with a microscope, there's a lot to clean up. Fields had a great game, but he was 15 for 29. There's a few throws that we talked about, whether it be the second throw of the game, which he bounced back right after and had a big one. The miss to Juice Herbert down the sidelines and the missed touchdown to DJ Moore. Yeah, there's definitely some things you can clean up. But when you talk about responding, when you talk about putting it on somebody on the road, like that's what we're looking for, man. That's all we've asked for. That's all we've been asking for, man. Go out there, show us something. Don't be conservative. Don't play scared, right? Give Justin a game plan that he can win with and go out swinging, man. If you lose, you lose. But don't play that scared shit that you were playing the first couple weeks of the season. You got to go for it. So this is now 2 straight first halves in which the Bears have looked absolutely dominating on offense. And whatever gets these dialing up, it's clearly putting DJ Moore in a lot of space and allowing him to operate. He's taking advantage of his opportunities, man. So I really couldn't ask for anything more from the Chicago Bears last night. Again, especially coming on a short week against a tough road opponent.
It 100% the last couple of weeks on offense feels like a fuck it. Let's just go out there and try to do something, man. That's how it's felt. The first 2 halves, the first half against Denver and the first half against Washington was like, we got nothing to lose. And let's go out and play loose and just let it go. And it's been successful in that stretch. Last year, let me go and get the exact weeks of it. But last year, when the Bears said, fuck it, the offense looked very good. Now, the defense obviously has, hasn't been – there's a lot of holes in it, but Eddie Jackson's not there. No matter what you feel about Eddie Jackson, if he can play or not,
that might be a bonus.
No, but if he can play or not, he's still one of the better players in that secondary. So he's not around. Jalen Johnson's not on the field. It's another guy that was hurt. So there's a lot of backup,
a lot of patchwork.
Third string guys out there that are giving up chunks. So
sure.
I can't hate that. But yeah, man, it seems like a lot of let's just go out there and let it rip. Last year, exactly the time, week 7 in the NFL last year, October 24th at New England is kind of when we were like, man, fuck it. Let's just see what we can do here. Justin Fields went crazy. They won 33-14. Then they went to Dallas and got smoked, but they put up 29 points. They played Miami. They lost, but they put up 32 points. They played Detroit. They lost, but they put up 30 points. They went to Atlanta. They lost, but they put up 24 points. that was the stretch where it was like, okay, we have a lot of holes to fill, but if we get the right scheme and the right things rolling, Justin Fields can play well. And that's what we've seen the last 2 games from him. I want to talk about some quick. I know the defense is still bad. At one point in the game, and I don't know where it ends. I don't know where it sits right now, but we're worse in the league in third downs allowed, first downs allowed. It's like 58%. Last year, the worst team in the league was 49%. So like that it's horrendous. They're giving up big chunks on third down. We saw 3rd and 13 to Logan Thomas last night that had us a little worried. There's no doubt about it. But let's talk about TJ Edwards. This guy's a fucking monster.
Yep.
He had a sack last night, another 10 tackles, 6 solo. He's all over the place. Tremaine Edmonds was the big signing. TJ Edwards is outplaying him. Period, point blank. There's nothing else to talk about.
Did lead the Eagles in tackles last year, right?
Yes, exactly. He's been our best defensive player by quite a bit this year. Shout out TJ Edwards. Greg Stroman Jr.
Hey. Player. Looked awesome.
He looked like a player last night.
Looked like
that's
a player.
For sure.
For
Had
sure.
a pick,
all over the place. Yeah.
Had a sack, was all over the place. Shout out TJ Edwards. Shout out Greg Stroman. Bears don't win the game without those guys on defense last night. So it's tough to we've been in this spot before, right, Nick?
Yeah.
We know the team's not very good.
Yep.
They show flashes back-to-back weeks. It's kind of hard to like determine where you're at and what you want to do. It's last year we were purely in the compete and lose. Justin Fields looked solid and take L's.
Was learning.
So we could start to build up the squad around you. Where are you at right now overall? I am on wax. Since before the season started, I would love to see Justin Fields play all 17, and then you decide what you want to do with him, what direction you want to take the whole shit.
Yeah.
My really quick, my take and my thoughts and my feelings on Eberflus have not changed at all.
Nope.
Pack him up and go.
Time to go.
As I mentioned, Justin Fields has become collateral damage in a bad coaching staff because the flashes are there. How do you feel about everything overall? Because now, look, Nick, we're in that window.
Yeah.
Let me give you the next couple of games here for the Chicago Bears.
Oh,
Nick,
you got folks talking 5-1, 6-0.
Nick, we're in that window.
Oh man.
We got Minnesota at home, Vegas at home, and what's the word that you would use for those 2 games? Winnable.
Winnable ball games.
Yeah.
Opportunities. Opportunities. We call that opportunities, fellas.
So the word you would use for those 2 games is winnable. Yep. Then we go to at the Los Angeles Chargers. That's another primetime game. So there's a spot where we could have won 3 in a row, and then we go into primetime to play a team that has been known to let people hang around, right? So how do you feel overall about the squad?
Yeah.
I know we joke around and people joke about going 0-16 to lock up, but you've also talked about the aura that brings, and I think you're a big you're teaching guys to lose and stuff like that. So
yeah.
How do you feel overall about the squad? Because we still got Carolina. They're still losing, and they got a tough game this week.
We can't talk about people developing winning habits and not acting like developing losing habits isn't a thing, right? If the organization is putting it out there that you're not trying to win, especially for 2 straight years, you have guys who will then play on this roster for 760 days and never knowing what it was like to try to compete every week. So I'm not in favor of trying to tank or bottom out or whatever it is. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. If it's a bad football team, it's going to remain a bad football team. You don't have to really do anything to help that. Plus, that doesn't do anything towards progress or confidence. I'll say this, man. Fields, the one thing with Fields that I've almost never seen before is he usually when a quarterback sucks, like they are killing the quarterback, right? It's almost universal that everybody says, hey, this probably isn't this guy's fault, right? And you hear this from Everybody, whether it's the Stephen A's, the Orlovskis, the guys who know what they're talking about, and the guys who aren't shy and girls who aren't shy to kind of throw that criticism out there, are all just saying we really honestly don't believe that this is his fault. So I try to hold on to that when I look forward, man. Like, I think it was kind of ridiculous of all the reports that were coming out this week that were essentially writing his eulogy, right? Like, no matter what, if the Bears get a top 4 pick, it's May, it's Williams, it's got to be one of these guys, right? To the point where, like, it kind of got ridiculous because we are still in week 4, right? Like, we can't be writing a guy off in week 4, especially when we have seen some progress last week. So as far as my overall feelings, man, you got to go in this week. You got a nice long break. You got 10 days till you play again. Go in and find out what it is you're doing well. You have had success, right? Albeit not against the greatest defenses in the world. I think it was different last night between last week because I think the Broncos just literally do not play defense, whereas the Commanders tried. We were just better, right? So find out what it is that works and build on that. Don't go try to do something else. Don't go say, oh, he's got in a rhythm now. Now we can put him into where we want to be, right? It reminds me a lot. Remember Nagy 2.0, where it was like, hey, no matter what I see, I'm all about pushing Nagy 2.0. It's like, no, fuck that. This needs to be Justin Fields 2.0, right? If it works for him, that's what you have to do. You have to build the offense around him because when you have done things that he's able to do, you're putting up points. You go back through that stretch that you mentioned last week, right? That's when he was running around just kind of playing willy-nilly, doing whatever. And yeah, we were losing, but we were putting up points, right? You look at the first 3 quarters of last week, or really the first half. You were doing things that put him in a position to succeed. You were getting the ball into your best player's hands. That's DJ Moore, right? So I don't care if you throw to DJ Moore 15 times, right? Look at McVay over there. He's thrown the Nacua every single time because it works, right? So put the ball in the hands of the guys who are going to get you where you need to be. Build the confidence, but don't get so caught up in what it is that you think an NFL offense should look like that you end up ignoring what's right in front of you, because you do have success this year. It was easy after the first 2 games to say, I don't know, because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen the ball go through the hoop, right? I talk about it all the time. You've seen the ball go in the basket. You know what it looks like. You know what the shooting form is supposed to look like. Then keep doing it. I don't care if you run the same exact game plan next week that you ran this week. It worked. They can't defend it. Guys are getting open. We talk about DJ Moore. Not all of that's busted coverage. A lot of that is DJ Moore getting open. He's 5-6 yards ahead of guys. You have found out a set of plays that are working for you. And guess what? If DJ Moore has to account for 91% of your receiving yards again, then so fucking be it. You won the ball game. Sometimes these coaches, man, they get so like, I got to do it my way. Fuck your way. It's all about winning. Nobody cares. Remember Lamar Jackson when he won the MVP and Greg Roman was like, hey, we're just going to throw to the tight end 170 times and have Lamar run. And they won an MVP and won 14 ball games or 13 ball games. That's it. Nobody was complaining at the end of the year. Nobody was saying, oh, I don't know, they didn't really look like an NFL offense. Like, no, he won the MVP and won a bunch of ball games. That's all we need to see. So I'm all in, man. Give me the full year to figure out what's going on. I'm not drafting anybody else yet. Let's just see what happens, man, if we can build on this. Because I think, the narrative around the kid and some of the stuff that's being said out there has kind of got a little bit crazy. So I'm happy, man. The defense obviously needs to be fixed. My biggest concern in these matchups coming up is that we just can't stop anybody.
Yeah.
But hey, for the first time in 14 games, we held somebody under 25 points. So that's progress.
No question. Well said. Let's talk about Chase Claypool.
Bye.
Disaster overall.
Disaster of a trade, dude. Really bad.
Gave up a 1, essentially. Pick 32.
Yep.
Called a 2. Polls will call it a 2, but it was a 1.
It was a 1. Who lost a pick last year? Who got their pick taken away?
I don't remember, but yeah, he picked 32, so essentially a 1. Polls will call it a 2. Goes to Miami for a 6, and then we give them back a 7th in 2025.
Were Garpax involved in this one?
Yeah.
It was the most Garpax trade I've ever seen in my life.
You guys want an extra pick?
Please.
It's fine. Just take this. We don't need this, but. Yeah, I was shocked that we had to send back a pick, but it was that dire just to get this fucking guy out of here. Get him out of the locker room. I think Eli in the group chat made a really good point. He said it was a disaster. He's on the team for less than a year. It'll go down as a really, 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 really bad trade, but he cut his losses. Said, yo, I fucked up here. Let me wipe my hands with this, and we'll move on. Eli said Ryan Pace would have been down on the field telling Eberflus to throw this guy the ball so he wouldn't look bad. That's the difference here in that. So that is the silver lining, that bad apple got him out of the locker room. He's gone. Never, ever to be heard from again. You'll never hear Chase Claypool's name again in Chicago.
Yep.
So he goes to Miami. We'll see if Black Mike can get him on track.
Black Mike.
Don't let Black Mike get him on track.
Yeah, Black Mike will be like, all right, man, we got something for you.
Look, bro.
Look, man.
Stay out of space. Stay out of 11, and we'll get you to rock.
I will say this. There's definitely clearly something going on there, and I said this in the chat too. Like, we see guys show up at contract years at their best, right? I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm trying. I'm at the facility early. I'm taking the laptop and studying film, all because I know that, especially right now, the receiver money is crazy. I'm trying to get that second deal. It tells you everything you need to know that in game one, in the first game of the season, this guy showed up with zero effort. To me, that was it. I don't care. There's no fixing past that.
Yeah.
If you don't care about a contract year, if you can't show up for week one, I don't want any part of you, man. It's not like you were lighting the world on fire before. I think he had a couple games last year where he was inactive as well, or just not used. So clearly this thing has never been a fit. I was happy when they made the deal. I like aggressive moves. I've always liked aggressive moves. I think sometimes we give a lot of credit to people for being too conservative with some of this stuff. Hey, we need a receiver. He went out, tried to get one, and he missed. He is going to be held accountable for that, though, right? Next trade you make, I am going to be looking at you skeptical. But at the end of the day, man, look, you went for a move, didn't work out. But to your point, you realized it was a bad move. You realized it was bad for the locker room. It wasn't helping the product on the field. Move on. So it was either that or he was going to get cut. So I'm fine with it, man. We bring a 6 back. I don't know why we have to attach a 7th to a guy who had no interest playing football, but it is what it is, man. Yeah, get him out the building. You can't have shit like that, especially when you're 0-4. You got no tolerance for that type of shit. Everybody in the locker room is looking, seeing what's going on. We're sending a message a little bit, but also, like, I think the situation was brutal with Chase Claypool. It was probably way worse behind the scenes than we know. And the Bears generally do a good job of keeping shit in-house. There's not a lot of leaks over there. But I guarantee you there was shit going on in the locker room that was just like, this guy's a fucking disaster. Yeah, I don't hear anybody coming out and defending him.
I haven't heard a single person be like, yeah, he was a good teammate. It just didn't work out here. Good luck to him. Good luck to him in Miami, etc. So,
I mean, Pace said we wish him luck before he traded him. He said this yesterday. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Before the game, we go, yeah, we wish Chase all the luck of going forward in his career. Yeah. And he was still on the roster. So it's like, hey, I'm done.
Yeah, he's either at the crib.
I didn't want to meet with you. We're good.
Yeah, it's over.
Thanks, man.
It's a wrap. Pack it up.
Appreciate it. So, yeah. And I guess obviously they had to make a move because in the CBA, you can't send a guy home without suspending them. I guess that's the TO. It was a TO thing that they put in there.
Oh, so when he was doing sit-ups in a driveway?
Yeah. And they put him suspended. They're like, you can't keep a guy away from the team unless you formally suspend him.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. 1-4, 1-2 on the road. Got shaky in the third. I'll say this, man. The Denver game started to creep in me a little bit.
Absolutely.
And also
I live bet the I live bet the Commanders plus 9.5 in the third quarter yesterday. So.
I live bet the Bears money line after they went up 7-0 and then gave it back. I took under 58.5 live. I didn't think the Bears were going to score another touchdown.
What did the money line add after the first touchdown?
130.
They were plus 275 going to the game, right?
It wasn't that high. It's like plus 230.
Okay.
Plus 225. So the last throw from Justin Fields, it comes out of his hand. I damn near stood up on the couch and said, that's a pick six. I said, here we go again. And DJ, the corner tipped it. Somehow DJ brought it down and then took it to the house. The guy is elite. He doesn't drop anything.
Nothing.
I love a couple spots, even on that Cole Kmet touchdown. Justin knew exactly where he wanted to go. He was just buying time to let Cole Kmet clear. He easily could have ran that rock. He didn't. Pulled it down, dropped it off for another touchdown. So it was a really fun, entertaining game. I tweeted this out as well. No matter what, chaos or not, the Bears will always be entertaining. Like, that was a really, really, really entertaining Thursday night football game. So I'm excited they got the W. It'll do it's a longer week now too. You take this L, it's even more.
The week was so long
because it's 10 days and it's
Oh.
just nasty. Going back home, the first incompletion is is booing. So this is a big win just overall for the
you get
psyche.
shat on all weekend because there's no other games till Sunday afternoon. So you're getting killed on Friday. You're getting killed on Saturday. It just, it's the last thing everybody. You're leading every single show this morning.
Yeah.
This would have been a tough one for the Bears. Definitely a backbreaker. So again, that's what I'm saying. The way that they came out and responded, I love it. And look, we've been critical of Flus, but a lot of that is Eberflus, right? Your guys got to come out and fight for you. It seems like the guys came out and fought for him. I still think he's a terrible head coach. I don't want him anywhere near my program next year, and maybe not for the rest of this year. So, I mean, his seat is still let's not get it twisted. His seat is still hot. But if you're Matt Eberflus, you went into yesterday shitting your pants. If this goes bad, it's not, maybe I'll get fired. Like, I'm getting fired. I'm going back to Indy. We're packing it up. Hopping in the van, and it's over with. I'll never be a head coach anywhere ever again. And it just changed. Like you said, a win changes everything. You saw Fields at the post-game presser. Afterwards on the studio set with Whitworth and those guys. Like, he was happy, right? It was
I do not like that. I do not like that group, by the way.
I hate that group. I've been telling you, I've hated the group for years. There's nobody on there that's good. I think
Tony Gonzalez is brutal.
Cooked. He's never been good. He sucks.
Great fucking tight end.
Yeah, cannot.
One of the best we've ever seen. I am straight on seeing him on any type of desk.
Fitzpatrick sucks.
Fitzpatrick is cool guy,
best out of all of them, but I don't like Sherman and Whitworth. Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't get it. Is it like a joke?
With
he even does the commercial. You see his commercial? He did his commercial.
Yeah, it's his thing. It's his thing. It's
fucking
for sure.
Brutal. I guess.
And for those who don't know what we're talking about, Andrew Whitworth, for the last 2 years, every time I've seen him on camera, has worn a blazer and a hoodie.
Every time.
It's one of those thin hoodie, like floppy hoodies that it's like a yoga hoodie.
Yeah.
It's a really bad look, but it's just stick.
Hey, listen, man, he's got.
I also loved his game too.
But
I think we've gotten to the point in media, especially because I'm in the business, is that you played? Here's a mic.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, come on.
Oh, you were killer on the field. Here's a mic.
Yeah.
And not all these guys. Michael Irvin deserves a mic.
Yes.
Get that guy. Give me that guy in the front of a mic.
First take, he's out. He's great.
Give me that guy in a mic every single day. Tony Gonzalez, cool.
Orlovsky, Clark, those guys they're actually good on TV.
Yes.
Like Orlovsky, I'm watching Orlovsky. Like, he's great on TV.
Yeah.
He understands. Ryan Clark understands how to be a TV guy.
Yep.
But then you have who's my man, Damian Woody. It's like,
no,
bro, it's time to go. It's okay.
Time to go.
Played the big city, which always helps you out, right? Bart is there from New York. All the Canty, all those. Canty's good on TV.
Canty's good.
Canty's a media guy.
I like Canty a lot, actually.
Yeah, it's just, a lot of these guys are. I even like Harry Douglas. I'll be honest with you. I think Harry Douglas is solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of these folks are there because they were a name and they're not really giving you too much. But look, man, it's good to hear them this morning talking about how good the Bears look. And I think for Fields, it's just like, you hear what Fields said? He's like, I love everybody, man. Even the people working upstairs, I don't even know you guys, and I love you.
Yeah,
that's what he said. He's just happy, bro.
Just happy, man.
And for a guy who's usually so like this, you don't really see him get high like that, but you can tell he's been down. It's good, man. That shit reverberates through the building. They're probably off today, I'm assuming. Off.
Oh, yeah.
Off till you light work Saturday, and then back in the physical.
You don't want to let them off the rain too much, but they definitely got the day off.
But you're feeling good, man. Sure. The music's blaring. You know what I mean?
It's just a different feel.
Folks are pulling up to the facility with the windows down. Everybody's good.
What do we always say, Nick? Just compete, man. Just compete. Make the right decisions. Come in and compete on a day-to-day. That's what the Chicago Bears fans want to see from them. Compete. Don't embarrass us. Don't put us on national TV every single week and come up and say dumb shit about you don't know where the players are and this, that, and the
that
third.
Was crazy. Yeah.
So we'll leave it there. Bears snap 14 straight L's, almost a full calendar year. Off the schneid, 40-20 in Washington. For Big Nick the Quick, I am your host, Sean Little. No catch-up Bears talk via Chicago. Victory Friday. Everybody have a good weekend. We'll see y'all on Tuesday.